Today on Foxpro's Furtakers, we battle extreme conditions for giant Canadian coyotes. Bitter cold and deep snow. Will the coyotes respond? Late season predator action starts right now.
Hunting predators, it's challenging. To be successful, you have to outsmart them. In the hunt, it's fast-paced and fast action. It's why we live to be fur takers.
You know, it's in March and we're up here in Saskatchewan where the temperatures are real cold. There's a lot of coyotes, there's a lot of sign.
Abner is hunting alongside Darren Thompson, an outfitter at Pelican Lake First Nation. As a non-resident, he must follow strict rules.
The law in Saskatchewan states that non-residents of Canada are not allowed to hunt coyotes or wolves in Saskatchewan. Chief and Council of Pelican Lake First Nation have passed it in their agreement to allow coyote hunting and wolf hunting on Pelican Lake First Nation to help with the management of the white-tailed deer.
They have perfect habitat up here. You got swampland, you have open fields and pastures, and you got the boreal forest. You know, that's great habitat for predators. And they're here. There's a lot of them. When we first got here, Darren, the first night he took me out to the land, I wanted to locate, to figure out where there was some coyotes staying. We're gonna listen, just do some coyote locators, see what happens. You know, locating is a great way to find out where the coyotes are in a specific area. Somewhere over in here, there's a pack. Let's see if we can get some coyotes to fire up. The first time we come up here, we wanted to locate, okay, there's coyotes here, 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 and here. See, they have a healthy population of coyotes here in Saskatchewan. I knew that if I come out in the morning, okay, I know there's coyotes there, set up right, and hopefully we'll be able to call them in. You know, I love challenges. You get into a new area, and I came to Saskatchewan, and it was just, here's the ground. Go see what you can do. We were here last night and located, and there's a pile of coyotes here. In fact, we just heard some right over here. Well, day one, we get out here, and we did probably 12 stands. A lot of tracks here. We're due for a coyote, way overdue. The last stand of the evening. We come up to this wide open field. We've been calling all day. You know, I'm just wore out. And I just set the call out there. Play a little jackrabbit distress. It wasn't 4 minutes. It's like clockwork. Here comes a pair up over the hill at 700 yards. A guy over here. 3 o'clock right here. There's 2.
The fields were tough for him to cross, but you know, 3 feet of snow certainly didn't slow him down a whole lot. He was coming straight for the call. If we would have let him, he'd have probably hit the call.
I'm gonna take this one right here. The female was in the back. She takes off, and I got on the coyote, hit the coyote, just enough to slow her down to give me an opportunity to get the crosshairs on her. Hunted all day long, all day. And we had a double come in, last stand of the night, and I just smoked a double. That last shot was a good 300 yards. Man, that was awesome. Coyotes in the snow, baby. Yes! That's a poke, as we would say down in Pennsylvania. How's the hike? Oh, that is 2 big, huge Saskatchewan coyotes right there. Look at that big old male, look at him. You wanna kill a coyote like that right there, you gotta come to Saskatchewan, baby. Oh my. Yeah, he's easy 40 pounds. That's a hefty coyote right there. That's an awesome way to end the day for the first day in Saskatchewan. Awesome. We got some wind this morning. We got about 6 inches of snow overnight. Like we needed more. We're already up to snow past our knees, so now we're gonna be up to our crotch. It is -1. The wind chill is about 20 below, so.
The weather certainly plays a role. You need to dress accordingly. You're dealing sometimes, you know, 20, 30, 40 below temperatures. On average, we're probably dealing with 2 to 3 feet of snow and 3 to 4 foot drifts as the winds built them up.
We start calling the wind's blowing, snow's blowing sideways. You can't see barely 400 or 500 yards. And it made it really, really tough to get that volume out there, you know, and get that sound out there available to the coyotes.
We had a northeast front come in, started pushing 30 plus mile an hour wind.
And we set up and did several stands, but, you know, we just kind of thought, you know what, let's let this wind die down a little bit. We took a break, came back out about 3, 4 o'clock.
This is where you got your double header here. Our road comes in right here.
Well, late afternoon of the second day. We were out this morning, but it was so windy and cold and nasty. It's just, the wind is very challenging when you're predator hunting.
When that storm finishes, like that northeast that we just experienced, they get moving. We got rid of some of the clouds, but that wind, it just wouldn't lay off, so we decided to get into a low bottom.
The wind was blowing over top of that, so it wasn't real windy down there.
There was a bank on our back wrapping around the creek, and it was allowing the wind to blow over top. And
I'm gonna play something with a little bit more emotion here, something a little bit higher pitch. Snowshoe 1, right there, baby. So we cast that volume out there, and it was covering a lot more ground.
It didn't take long. Within the first 5 minutes, I looked over, spotted a coyote rolling over the hill.
Out of this thick bottom, this marsh bottom, here comes a coyote full bore, right to the call. Oh, right here he is, right here, coming in hard, coming in real hard. I bark her to a stop, and lights out. And it came in perfect. Wind was right. Everything was right on that stand, and it worked out perfectly. You want to talk about fast and furious? That right there was fast and furious. We had a perfect stand. We're hidden, we're concealed really well, but it's real bright out there. When they're coming in, they don't see us sitting in these shadows. It was just a perfect stand, and that coyote charged in here.
She was moving fast. She was moving like there wasn't even snow there. Abner just gave a little bark and worked perfect. She stopped right in her tracks.
And it was just an ideal, perfect setup, and it panned out with the snowshoe one. High energy, emotion, sound, and it worked. I'm going out there and get that coyote. Look at that pretty coyote. Look how pretty that is. Look how furred up they get, man. That is just awesome. That wool, big female. Wonder where her husband was. Up in this great white north, they are just furred up, beautiful animals. This coyote is less than probably 15 yards from the Foxpro. That is a perfect stand, set up perfectly and executed perfectly. Just awesome, look at that. White coyotes, baby.
There's a meal at the end of the sound in their eyes, and competition's tough in the forest. Survival of the fittest.
First time ever to Saskatchewan, beautiful country. You know, now I know why everybody comes up here deer hunting. We saw a lot of coyotes running around up here. I thought, man, the amount of coyotes we saw out during the day when we first got up here, it was like, oh man, this is gonna be awesome hunting. And it was just the opposite. It wasn't horrible, but it was just very challenging. It's a new day in Saskatchewan, and it is cold outside. Really cold. It's like -10. Oh, there's some fresh tracks right up through this road. I like this spot, looks good. Right at daylight. See that sun come on. Let's go kill a coyote. There's a lot of tracks in here. Right up there by that junk that's there. We're gonna sit right underneath there. That'll give us, break up our outline. You know, everything that could go wrong pretty much went wrong. Was a good stand. Now we're gonna change it up a little bit. We had a dog back there. He was a guardian dog, kind of like the Sandlot. We'll call that big woods over there. See if we can get something to come in. Suck. You said coyote hunting was easy. We still tried calling it, but it was tough. It's challenging. It's hunting. That's what it is, hunting. It's not killing. You're not gonna come to Canada and expect to kill 30 coyotes. If you do, you're not thinking straight. It's in March. The temperatures are real cold. The winters last a bit longer than what they last down home in Pennsylvania or in the States. You know, our breeding season down there is earlier February or late January. We had saw some out breeding in the wide open fields. Hopefully we can call them in, but there's a pair of them out here. They went up over a rise, so we got the wind right in our face. I'll go sit right there at the corner of that fence post, okay? We'll sit and face that way. I mean, they're gonna stay around that female until she comes in heat, and they're gonna breed her, and then after that, they're just gonna kind of lay around and then breed her again if they want to. It's kind of like a big buck during the rut. He don't care about anything but one thing, and we all know what that is. Well, coyotes are no different. It's hard to get on their schedule because you have no idea when they're gonna be breeding. He had no interest in us. I would have to say that this has been, by far, the most difficult predator hunt I've been on. trudging through snow 5 feet deep. The wind is killing your face, you can't even see. Just nothing went right. They weren't moving a lot. We didn't see anything, didn't hear anything. Had no response whatsoever to the call. And it just made it a very challenging day of hunting. We have called for coyotes all day long. Haven't even had one respond to the call. Frustrating, frustrating, frustrating. You know, we were able to come to Saskatchewan to hunt on the reservation.
For the last couple days, we have certainly experienced some challenging conditions.
There's like 3 foot of snow, and we were trudging through snow for 4 days of calm. The wind blew snow sideways, and it just got nasty out. We had snow, sometimes up over our waist. At one point, it was 20 below zero, and we're out calling this stuff. Nothing's responding. You got weather, they're breeding. You just go out there and you keep calling. You put in your number of stands, because the more stands you put in, sooner or later you're gonna get one to come in and give you an opportunity. We had a coyote we saw in the field. There was a red fox in the field with it, and another coyote on out further. We drove down this road and we got the wind right. We got a coyote and a red fox out here. We can't shoot the red fox, but this coyote's out here mousing, so we're gonna set up, try to get in these hay bales without him seeing us. You gotta be real careful to sneak in there with the wind right, without them seeing you, without making a lot of noise. And it can be tough to pull it off. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Oh wow, he's way out there, isn't he? Probably 1,200 yards and there's a coyote sitting on a hay bale. We turned the call on full bore and he shows no interest whatsoever. But I never question myself. Once I'm done with that stand, if nothing came in, I'm confident that I played the sounds that would have made them respond. Another stand. Let's go do another one.
Okay, we have a lodge up here. We're getting into some pretty good cattle country. It's just a constant struggle with these predators, as you know, for the cattle farmers.
The numbers are staggering. Right around the yard here, you'll get packs of 15, 20 at a time. I mean, last year then I had 10 coyotes rounding up some calves in the corner of my pasture here. I had to jump in the truck and run out there with the rifle and shoot a couple just to get them off the cattle.
They're opportunistic, and these coyotes really hone in on those young calves. End of the day, right before evening, that's when they like to move. Do or die, dude. We come up to this wide open field, last stand of the evening. Coyote out there. He's eating on something out there.
Give me a range.
It's 564, 7.5 clicks.
Got it.
I heard a meat report though. That's a heck of a shot if you pulled that off. Think he's laying out there? Did it feel good?
Felt great.
I don't see him. Well, nonetheless, there's no blood or anything around here. The tracks that take off from here don't show any signs of blood or a hit. And you gotta take a shot. That's all you can do. That's hunting. That's the way it is. That's the way it goes. I still love it. At the end of the day, man, I love everything about it.